Well, we are live. Couple things today. We're the Atlantic Salmon. Today we're going to be hanging out with the Collins. Some of them, or one of them, not sure which one. Joel's going to be tying up some fish poison, and this will all be coming right up. Hang tough. Hey guys, it's Scott here. Welcome to another edition of Realistic Live, the first broadcast of the new year, 2020. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope Santa Claus or the reindeer or any of the particular spirits were good to you on the hangover days. Hopefully everything that you wanted was in your stocking and you've already had a chance to fish with it. That's one thing I'm going to talk about in the little bit later in the show. I have some show and tell that I really want to talk about, and they're not a sponsor or affiliated in any way, just so you know in advance, and I'm just doing it because they are amazing. Okay, so where are we today? So we're broadcasting from the lodge of Wolf Lake today. We don't have our guests from Wolf Lake available in the background. We do have Joel hanging out, and he's getting his stuff all ready to go there. We got a few comments coming up. Okay. Hey, Tony. Right. He's first guy, 5 o'clock, 5:01. Richard Dunlop. Hey, guys. Nikki Prince. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. I hope you all had a good New Year. And there's my daughter. She's joined. Hi, Karis. I'm actually broadcasting from home today. So I apologize in advance if the internet goes. We have an alien triangle over us. It's kind of like a Bermuda Triangle. I think it's to keep the missiles from being inbound into Willow River. Hey, Rob, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So a few things I want to talk about before we get into bringing in Joel. Just before the Christmas holidays, I don't know if you've all seen in the news, and I'll post a link in here. We had a very large escapement of Atlantic salmon that were being farmed in the West Coast in the Port Alberta area. And there was like 21,000 fish. Apparently the net caught on fire. I'm not sure how or why this is an actual thing, but they had some sort of an electrical fire and 21,000 Atlantic salmon escaped. Now, you know, I'm all for catching one salmon over another, but the controversy on both sides is our salmon are already on a very poor downward slope, and I don't think they could use any extra things against them right now. And another 21,000 fish competing with their forage and possibly making it into the spawning areas and ruining their spawning beds, or who knows what else, eating the fry. Some of them have been caught. I've seen a report I read earlier this week where a couple people had caught some of the Atlantic salmon on rod and reel, and inside them they had about 15 small salmon smolts in them. So they are actually eating our Pacific salmon as a forage. So that's a problem. Now, on the other hand, the people who had the escapement, I think it's Maui, Mowi, they said that most of the fish hung around the pan, and now they have a very large amount of seals and sea lions hanging out there gobbling up these fish because they're not wild and they don't know any better. So they're hanging around the pen, apparently getting eaten up. Well, that may be true, but some have been caught almost 100 miles from where they were, where they escaped from. Now, I don't know whether that is something that is from prior, because there was a couple 100,000 that got loose just in the Puget Sound area a couple years ago, and people have been catching them ever since. So I'd love to hear your opinions on either side. Do you think that they will bring disease to the Pacific salmon? Do you think that they all get eaten up by the seals? But it's just one more small thing, you know, that shouldn't make any difference in our Pacific salmon. However, we have like 50 major things or minor things that are turning into one giant major thing. And so one other thing we need to have a look at for sure. So I don't see any comments on that right now about the salmon. So I guess nobody knows much about it or whatever. There's a a disease, and here's the disease here. This is what they were talking about. It's called PRV. I'm going to bugger up the name. It's Piscine orthorovirus. So this is what will kill Atlantic salmon, and it's been transferred into Pacific salmon, and they've already found cases of that. So that's what they're worried about. My big question of the day is, right now, as of this morning, Atlantic salmon still values less per pound than sockeye salmon. Why are we not farming sockeye salmon, Pacific sockeye salmon in the Pacific? I mean, if 100,000 of them escape, good for me and my fly rod, right? But so what's the deal with that? I wonder if anybody out there has any answers to why we have chosen, or everybody seems to have chosen Atlantic. Is it because of their lifespan, which doesn't make sense to me, because, you know, they take them to the salmon farms up in your plates in the restaurants in about 6 months of living in these pens anyway. So what is the actual reason? I hope somebody out there listening right now has a clue, because I'd love to. Why are they raising Atlantic salmon for us? Well, that's what I want to know, Tony. Why are they Atlantic? You know, so many people are against even eating the Atlantic salmon, especially the farmed. So, and I don't know a single person who likes fish who has something against sockeye. So there's that. So I just don't get it. Why are we not farming sockeye or coho or some other species that is native? Now, I know they have some landlocked pens that there are sockeye farms, but they're inland. They're just not in the ocean. Anyway, that's my thought and topic for the day. So hopefully passing the information along will get somebody curious. I'm just going to have an issue here with Todd. Do you have a password or something? I already sent it to you. Okay, I'll send it again. I sent the password again there, Todd. It's right above where you said send me the password. Maybe it didn't show up. Okay, so a couple things going on. Are you laughing at me there, the king? I see you in the background giggling. So Joel's in the background right now. He's the peanut gallery, but he will be back here soon to join us. So I have a couple things I want to ask you guys. So you won't eat farm salmon. Amen, Richard, and I will never touch it. In fact, funny story, we went big fishing expo down in Vancouver area, and we went out for salmon and sushi, and they brought us this table of about 35 of us, all this Atlantic salmon sushi, and we all stared at it like they served us live seal. And we made them all take it back. They were a little upset with us. We paid for it, of course, but we should have been more specific. But every one of us was in the fish industry, and we just couldn't believe they served us Atlantic salmon. Okay, so coming up in the show, one of the things in this coming season 2020, I want to ask you guys, is there stuff in particular you'd like me to research and do some talks on? I don't mind digging and finding the answers. I'll be your watchdog and see if I can find some answers for you. I would love that to be a topic in our upcoming shows, where I pick something that you guys have asked, and then work on that and get some answers or some entertainment from you. In the upcoming shows, I'm going to do some sort of tech talk. I will be having some sort of fancy pants thing or other to show you, talk about, tell you how I liked it, how I didn't like it, etc. And if you guys have any ideas of things you'd like to see about that, let me know as well, because I will be happy to get them on the show. We have upcoming in some future shows, somebody who you guys are going to love to talk to. He is, I'm going to say about 7.6 times funnier than I am. Randall and I spent some time in the military together, which is where I met him. And he went from there to become a senior pilot in JetBlue. He drives a 767. But he started something about 3-4 years ago. He got his master's in diving, and he's what they call or refer to as the Florida diver. So we'll be having him on. He'd like me to come out and do a show where we snorkel for some lobsters. So I thought, yeah, that'd probably be pretty cool. Anyway, we should get out there. Somebody should get up there and do that, because that'd be fun. We're going to have Don Lamont from The Complete Angler. We haven't fixed an actual date, but we've talked about it again, and so he's going to be on. There's Todd Collins just hiding in the background now. We have a new segment that's going to be coming up. I'm going to try and do it at least once a month. Dawn Peterson, who is a friend of mine, she lives on the coast, and she is more of an avid fisherman than I am, but she's also a top-notch chef, and we're going to do some live cooking coming up, and she's going to bring stuff right from the catch right to the counter. So that should be interesting, and we'll be talking with her pretty soon to get that organized. So that should be pretty cool. So that's some interesting things that are coming up here in the future. And I am going to bring Joel in quickly here and get him started and see what is. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Appreciate you all hanging out. And let's bring in Joel. The king, it says. Do I bow? Salute? How's that work?
Just curtsy a little.
I don't have my dress on. In fact, I'm naked from the shirt down. So let's just keep it clean.
Well, I heard you're drinking light beer, so
not today. It is light. I haven't. It's a green can, so that's not working out very well. I'm drinking Magic. It's light beer, so you can see right through it. No, it's just water. There's been no yeast added yet, so unfortunately.
Nice.
What do you got going for us today? How you been, bud? How was your Christmas?
It was pretty busy, and I definitely I had to work nights and whatnot, so it wasn't much for Christmas, but nonetheless, still felt festive. So it's the first year in a long time that I actually went out and cut my own Christmas tree. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Was that the one they reported missing in the park there, or is that a different one? Yeah. So I noticed you tied up a nice little Christmas tree on your vise there. That was fun and very festive.
Yeah, it was. I saw the floating around social media there. Everybody was kind of doing the Christmas tree challenge, and I said, "Sure, why not?" And
why not?
Yeah, you just kind of, when you get to a point that you're just like, "Oh, could I tie that?" It's like how I tie that. How do I tie that now? So
that's right.
So it was really cool. I did some reverse tied bucktail on a couple of bamboo skewers, and I used a Creek Candy Bead Company bead for the star and some UV paint, and
I saw that. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm going to open you up full screen and give you a chance to get started. I'm going to chat with Todd just offline here for a second, and then I'm going to start sharing this stream because I'm solo. So I have no technical buddies to share with me. So I'm going to share the stream, and I will let you take over for a sec. So let us know what's happening.
Sure. Yeah. Well, today what we're going to tie is a pike pattern. You could also use these for large char and or muskie. So these are hollow. This is a hollow deceiver. Super easy to tie, especially if you want to start getting to some bigger patterns. And they fish rather nicely. Like you can strip them quick or fish them like a jerk fly. Super, super simple. The materials are not that, pricey if you want to go out and try some. So we'll go over the list of materials that I have right now. First off, with the hook, we have 6/0 Universal Predator X from Partridge of Rittich. Really nice. These are a little bit pricier for hooks, but they're worth the investment because they are a nice heavy gauge and they have a really good home driving hook point. So they mean business when you latch into, especially like the Esox species. So they got that hard beak. It really punctures. And then the thread is some Vivas 210 denier in just a white. I usually use this heavier gauge thread when I tie bigger patterns, just so it holds up together, especially with pike teeth and char teeth. When they get a little bit bigger, it's a lot easier to keep the integrity of the fly intact. So and then we're gonna try some Saltwater Red Crystal Flash. So that's going to be our flash accent. We are going to use Magnum Bucktail in white. You can two-tone it. I do have my red out here. I was going to two-tone it with red, but I think I'm actually just gonna do white to a red color. We're also going to do a tractor saddle in white. If you don't have any tractor saddle, the tractor saddle can get a little pricey, but you can get like a 6 to 9 inch schloppen in white, or even like a grizzly schloppen if you want that barred color as well. Instead of the tractor saddle, you can use the grizzly hackle. That stuff's really nice, but it is pricey. You're looking at like, this is a half cape, and this cost me $80. So
I was going to say $80, which reminds me, Joel, I found a whole bunch of capes for you. I'm going to send them. I used to raise roosters for capes, so I have a bunch here. I will let you pick from them. Yeah, I will let you pick from them. I kept the grizzly one, sadly.
What?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a super nice grizzly, and he was my best friend. So we won't even go there. He was a good rooster. Well, he was delicious with hot sauce.
No,
when I say he was good, yeah.
And last but not least, what we're going to build the head out of is some American Tie Flies Magnum dubbing. The red is flavor Red Row, and this is pearl. And for the eyes, we are going to use two 6mm Flyman Fishing Co. Fish Skull living eyes, and that is in ice. So there's fire, earth, ice, and
I was like, is it gonna melt if you don't? Yeah, I'm gonna pop Todd in because he's definitely out of town and he's out of sorts, and he looks like whoa, wait a sec, that's there's a picture in the background. He must be at his son's place. So let's bring him in and just say hello and see what's going on with Todd. Hey, how you doing today, Todd?
Good,
hey,
you fellas. Hey guys.
Oh, yeah. So you made it to your son's place, I see.
Yeah, you betcha.
Is that a goat up there behind you, or is it? What is that a picture of?
No, that's a fancy little dog picture. You want to zoom in on that?
Oh, there you go. There you go. So is that somebody's Christmas portrait?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's a nice puppy. How were the roads? How was the drive? How was your Christmas? 3-part question.
Christmas was awesome. You know, it's always good to have some holidays, get away from work, and spend some time doing other things.
Work things.
Other work things.
Yeah. I'm just happy that I super love doing this, or it would be another work thing. This is it's very exhilarating and it's fun. It's a little nerve-wracking getting everything organized the last second, but it's a lot of fun. So so what's going on with Wolf Lake? You guys got some promotions coming, like you got some shows to be at, is that right?
Yeah, we're taking off. We got to get on the plane at 6 a.m. in the morning here out of Saskatoon, and we're off to Chicago. We should be there, I don't know, 1 o'clock-ish, I hope. No later then, because we got to drive about 90 kilometers and get set up for the show that starts at 5.
So, wow. And that's a tight schedule. And did you ship all your advertising stuff in advance?
The booth is there. They store it for us over the winter, and we just need to take some brochures, business cards, etc. Just some little stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. So they keep all that stuff for you. That's actually a great idea.
Yeah, it's pretty convenient. The booth that we have there is, a couple large totes, so it's, it adds up on cost from flying that stuff back and forth. So. Oh,
absolutely. That's really sweet. They do that. Now, do you take that to the next, because you have a couple to do, yeah? Or just the one?
Yeah, the following weekend is in Green Bay. So we'll pack that up. We'll throw it on a truck or maybe just in the car we've rented, and off to Green Bay we'll go.
Nice. So Tony says I must have a portrait of a rooster. No. Just a small sketch, Tony. It wasn't a portrait. He'll be tied into some flies. So, so I'm going to pull up a banner here. So we have, let's see, this ticker. We have this going on. So we have the big giveaway still. The Wolf Lake Lodge stay, 6-day stay. That's still available. We will be giving that away. I can't even remember the date. It's so much has been going on. It's May. I think it was end of May.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, May 15th sounds familiar to me. Yeah. So all you people who haven't had the opportunity, head over to the Wolf Lake Wilderness Lodge Facebook page and make sure you sign up to that, because it takes you about 4 seconds, well, maybe 5, because you'll probably want to jump in and have a look at some of those amazing pictures they have on their website with all the big trout, big pike, and a plethora. I'm going to use that word, plethora of grayling. Yeah, I really enjoy your new website, Todd. It's definitely hats off to the other famous Scott who, see, I remembered his name. That's amazing.
Yeah.
After all this time, this over the holidays, it's a good name to remember. Scott. Yeah. Everybody say it out loud right now together in your heads. Aha, I knew you did it. So how long? So these places that you go to, they're just a Canadian bunch of guides and lodges. Is that correct? Like,
yeah, these 2 shows that we're going to do here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, they're strictly Canadian outfitters. You know, most of it's fishing. Some of these fishing outfits have bear, deer, and moose tags as well to go with their fishing operation.
It's so funny because I searched that on the internet and I couldn't find anything like that. How do people? Yeah, how do people find it? Like I didn't know anything like this existed. That it was like take the Canadians down to the States and say, "Hey, come fish my place." Like that's a pretty amazing setup. Really, I don't know who thought of that, but kudos to that. So.
Yeah, they host those 3 shows every year, and I believe they get a fairly good turnout through those 3 shows.
Well, I was talking with Trevor briefly from Tasman Lake Lodge. I know you guys are friends and neighbors, and they had a fairly busy show down there in Milwaukee, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so if they had a good show, that's awesome news, because Milwaukee is half the size of Chicago as far as trade show booth size. You know, we're talking 80 booths compared to 150.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Huh. So this is where like you guys will literally fill your lodge up. So if people are not like locked on or giving you a deposit by now, it's starting to, this will be the time where your dates start to get booked up. Is that right?
Yes, from now, you know, all the way out until the end of March. You know, I think my last trade show that I'm doing is the first week in April, when I'm taking off to, where am I going? Minnesota.
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 Somebody that lives near Scotty won the 70 million. We
Really?
might not see Scotty on this trip, or you might have a new co-owner. Wow. 70 million. I'm not sure I'd know what to do with that kind of money. Oh, I think I can figure it out though.
I do.
Yeah.
You buy some more schlopping?
Wolf Lake for sure first.
Yeah. Like we could head up there and start ice fishing. So yeah. Oh, that's fantastic, because this show that you guys go to now, how can people find it? Like what's the name of it? So if they're down in that area, because we're gonna obviously share this up with a lot of people from that area, so maybe they can stop by and talk to you guys and say hi.
It's pretty simple to remember. It's the All Canada Show.
The All Canada Show. Hey, Tony, can you type that in? Is that the actual website, the All Canada Show?
Yeah, and they're so
it's www
in Chicago, and the one the following weekend is in Green Bay.
I'm gonna search that. The All Canadian Show. And is it the same people who are taking them down to the next All Canadian Show? Yeah. There it is. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to post that link right now. That looks like it. Yeah, okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. but that's an error occurred. What? Oh, there we go. So I will show that. So that's the link there. I just went to the website. Yeah, they got a nice website. So check them out and find out the location that's nearest you, and certainly stop by and say hello and find out how you can get yourself into Wolf Lake Wilderness Lodge. And perhaps we will see you there. Perhaps you will be in one of our episodes, which would be fantastic. So you guys definitely come out. So tell me a story, Todd. What do you got? What do you got planned? Tell me something interesting.
Tell you something interesting.
Yeah, tell me about that pike you guys caught
this past what? Just recently, that little video I showed.
A couple days ago.
Oh yeah, we were out doing some walleye fishing, and we were just catching, like 3-4 inch walleyes. Just the big ones weren't biting that day for some reason, and then all of a sudden that pike come in and smashed, a 1/8 jig and a minnow, and the fight was on.
That was on the rod, or was it on a set?
Yeah, that was on the rod. We were just sitting in the tent, just in a little 2-person tent, doing some jigging for the walleye, and yeah, it come in. And there was no hesitation when it took it, that's for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I love pike fishing. I don't know. Most people, they're like, it's jacks and slough sharks. And I drive miles and miles and hours to get to a place that has pike. Like, that's something that really, really makes the old tickle trunk go. I love pike. Did you catch any walleye?
You know what? It was pretty slow. I think we only caught a couple walleye that day, and I think we caught 4 or 5 pike. So since the pike bite was on, we decided to switch up what we were doing, and we moved to another part of the lake just to strictly target pike. And we did that with tip-ups. And I think we ended up with 14 flags, and we landed 5 of them. Biggest one was probably about 18, 19 pounds.
Did you keep a couple for the barbecue or what?
No, we let them all go.
Look at you. Fantastic. I think one of those would have found their way.
As much as I don't mind eating fish, I prefer to let them go and grow.
I agree. But sometimes you got to take one out to give a couple more space to roam around.
Oh, that's true.
Did I say that? Joel, I didn't say that. Erase. Yeah, that was, I don't know who was, it's the water talking. It's made by Buble, so. And it's magic, you see? This is so light, you can see through it. Well, that's cool. How many flags you guys allowed each there? Like a dozen or?
No, you can set up 2 tip-ups each.
2. So, and are you allowed to have a jig line too, or that's just 2 lines?
No, just 2 lines. You can have one that you're fishing with and 1 dead line. But when we're fishing the pike, we like to just fish with the tip-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I envy you guys because there are a lot of occasions where I would like to put a set line right into the shallows, but I'd also like to be able to go out deeper and jig something. But we only get one, so it's either or, and it's pretty boring to put a jig up unless I'm like setting up camp. I'll put a tip up right away, drill a hole, put a tip up, and then set camp up somewhere else down the road. But that's about the only time I'll do a tip up, or maybe an overnight for a burbot or something. But yeah, I would really love to have 2 lines, but I don't know why we don't do that. So will Todd go to the Spring Sportsman Show? Will you be going to the Toronto Spring Sportsman Show?
I guess I think that show conflicts with a couple others that I'm going to do, to be honest with you, because I had to miss out on the Edmonton show too.
Yeah, I recall you had something else going. But also Todd or Tony and Todd can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but a lot of times the people that book the lodges solid aren't from Canada. They're like, you get a 5 or 6%. So spending the kind of money and time it takes to go to a Canadian show is almost, it's not pointless, but it's kind of at that point when you would prefer to have, more of a 50% average. Is that accurate, Todd? Or
yeah, it seems like a lot of the people taking these types of trips are coming out of the U.S. and other countries more so than Canada. And I can get that. I can relate to that. I grew up with it in my backyard, so it's it's one of those weekend events where a guy grabs a case of beer and your tent and an auger and away you go for the weekend and come home again, right? Or
and I think
boat or however you're going.
So many Canadians, we're kind of spoiled, and to spend like $5,000 that we could do something typically next door, we tend to put our nose at, right? But I'll tell you, if any of you guys are even considering it or on the fence, 100%, you should go. 100%, because once you try it this once, you'll realize that it's nothing like going fishing with your buddies with a case of beer on the corner. That is fun. There's nothing wrong with it. But having a full experience where you are literally the king of England when you arrive and have all the attention on you to help you catch more fish or have more fun there, I'm hooked. Like it's worth the money, and I would put the money away every week to make sure I get to go every year. So, but once you try it, it's something you will enjoy forever. Like it's worth it.
I have to agree with that, to be honest with you. Before we bought the lodge, I'd only been on a couple fly-in trips, and one was because a buddy won the trip, and another was a customer to where I work and owns a private cabin remote. So we chartered a plane and flew in there. Those are kind of do-it-yourself trips, but when you go to something where somebody is going to cater to you and you're just there to fish, it's a whole new ball game, and everybody should get to experience that at least once in their life.
Oh yeah, totally. What are you pushing on there now, Joel? You use some sort of a little special tool there, or to fold that hair back?
Yeah, it's a two-sided hair packer from Stomfo. I just got it. They're fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, I've never seen that used.
And if you want to spin like deer hair head for like sex dungeons and stuff like that, super great. The only one complaint that I have about it is that Stomfo made this 100% completely round. So when you put it down on your table,
away it goes.
Yeah. So
is it stainless?
It is. It is, I believe, either that or it's cast aluminum, but it's very durable.
My tie bench, I don't know if you've tried this before, but I went to the sign shop and got one of those door magnets, and then I flipped it over so the surf and glued it to my surface, so everything that hits my bench stops dead, because the whole top of the bench is a magnet, which is good for me. Otherwise, I'd have a lot of hooks in my feet. Because when I was tying the 22s or 24 mosquitoes and bivisibles, I think they're so small. If they hit the carpet, they were gone. You'd be crawling around with a magnet.
I don't speak that language.
No, I know. But you'll enjoy a little dry fly on the grayling. I know you will. Maybe, because I have it on our schedule to do so. So you will like it, mister. And you will enjoy it. I have a very strict agenda for us to film one of our shows. So that is going to be on it. And I'm so looking forward to doing some of those videos for you, Todd. I've been actually keeping a list and a little bit of some ideas and stuff to keep it fresh, but I don't, unless it's a tornado the whole week that we're there, I don't see any reason why I can't get 3 full episodes again, as well as getting some stuff for a commercial for you. So
that'd be great.
So keep that in mind over the next couple months. Stuff that you'd like to see, if you see commercials and stuff online that you really enjoy, save the links and send them to me. Okay. Humbling experience, I can imagine. Amanda says, yeah, Amanda. And thanks for joining us again. Appreciate you being here, Amanda. She is hardcore. Love her to death. So yeah, that'd be a super humbling experience. And Ryan Storch is jealous, Joel. He said that's a nice one. You back off, Ryan. This is going in our to-do list for Wolf Lake. Back off.
I've already started a box for us all, boys, for Wolf Lake. So
did you? I'm going to take this moment to talk about something. This is going to be my first tech talk tackle because I'm so excited. I got these for Christmas, and you both know already. But here's one of them. Where's the best camera angle? So this is a 9-inch. It's a flat-sided tube jig, and I've never seen this before. But I had a chance to play with one this weekend. But you can see, I'll show you the profile. Where's the camera? It's actually flat. So while I was yanking it, instead of it just going up and down, it was actually darting left and right too. It was incredible. And this one's 9 inches, and I don't know what the weight of it is, but I know I had to upsize the rod and line that I was using to jig it. It's quite hefty. I am wicked impressed with this. I don't know if Todd's watching, or Paul. He wanted to know where I got these from, but I'll leave the link on them. But that's Water Wolf lures, and they're made in Ontario. So it's another fine Canadian product, but I've had a chance now over the last week to pick these apart. I keep showing this over top of to pick these apart, and the quality, I can't believe it. They have not spared any expense, and if they're not in a plastic package, they come in a double bag like this one here, and these are 6-inch with a paddle on the back. And I was ripping this through the water this weekend, and I can't believe the action. And they got hook guards on all of them. There's 9 hooks or 6 hooks on this, 7 hooks on this. But man, you've had a chance to use these at Wolf Lake. Is that right, Todd?
Yeah, Jay brought a few with him this past summer, and we would drive around, we'd target a fish, and we'd drop. He had both of those lures exactly, a little different colors, but we'd drop down on top of them, and 7 out of 10 times we were catching that fish we were dropping those hooks down on.
I took the purpley one. It's hard to tell in this light. It's kind of got a purpley, kokanee, grayling hue to it. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. But I picked the blue and white because I can use that at my local lakes as well. And so, yes, just so you know in advance, I am not affiliated with Water Wolf Lures yet. Hello, are you there? Just in case you're watching.
Shameless.
Yeah, well, this is somebody I would love to be in partners with for sure, because this stuff is quality. So I got this 10-inch paddle tail as well. I got a couple different colors, and so this was my Christmas present. Santa came and brought these to me, and he said, "I know you're going to catch fish there. So here, use these." But I thought, hey, what a great name to be using, at Wolf Lake. But the Water Wolf lures, they sound like they were made for your lake.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to have to pick a few up for myself.
When my wife's seen them, she's like, "They're huge." And I'm like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." But but it's if you want to catch a big. No, what's so funny? Are you talking about my lures?
It happens to me too, right?
Right. It's a Scottish thing. I don't know. So I'm super stoked to drop those down there, and it was between that and the Bondi bait. But after I researched a little bit, I thought it'd be those ones for sure. And I am so excited. But that was I got a big box of those under the trees, so that was cool. Scott, send me a list of the grayling flies you chuck. I'll send some up with Joel. Joel won't know what to do with a grayling fly, Ryan. So there's that. I don't know if you'd tie like a 2-pound leader. Like, do you even know how, Joel? Or
you just wait. You'll be flipping that little stuff, and I'll be pulling out 5-6-inch streamers and be hammering the big grayling on them.
Yeah, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk about. Well, you're telling us a little bit more. I talked about it earlier. My friend who's a Florida diver. Here's his logo. You guys can check him out on YouTube. But the guy does amazing underwater photography. Here's one of his shots here. I seen a picture of him a couple days ago swimming with a 14-foot alligator, which made me. I sent him my prayers. I said it was nice knowing him, just in case I never saw him again. So yeah, so we'll be checking him out. He'll be online. We're gonna do a video test this weekend to make sure all our gear is compatible, and so hopefully, he wants us to get together somewhere out in Florida and do some sort of a fish or a dive. So he's a dive master extraordinaire. Oh, and I'm supposed to tell you, and he's sniper qualified. but aren't we all from the military? So here's a picture of me receiving my opening my first Santa gift. Yay! That was pretty exciting. Oh, and you guys probably all experienced this, and this is for you, Joel. So make sure you look at this. Ready? Yeah. I was like, where did my tears go? So it was a Scooby-Doo mystery, had to solve that one. Put a mirror in the fridge. That's what I found. And when you open it, you always find out who's stealing your beers. And later, and I guess probably at the end of the month, we will be looking at Don Lamont, or talking to him and talking about his magazine, Hook Magazine. So I'm also going to give away a subscription to his magazine today. So one of you lucky viewers will get a chance to win. So make sure you comment. It doesn't matter what you comment. I will pick from whatever comments. That's all you got to do to qualify. Tony thinks I'm naughty. Well, Santa Claus obviously did not think that, Tony. So there. So okay. So you go to the shows, you get all your bookings, and now say we're in March. You got to be getting ready to pack your trailer and stuff. Like, it's got to be getting close, right?
Yeah, by March I got to be getting all my ducks in a row. I need to have all my planes lined up. Any extra gear that I'm taking in. This year I'm taking in some windows and doors and stuff like that. So we chartering a couple extra planes to get our gear in there initially. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of definitely a lot of a scheduling, that's for sure.
Yeah, and because I was thinking to myself, he's got to be getting all set up right now, and putting things aside in a shed, because it'll come so fast that you could literally miss stuff, right? I mean, you have a huge list of things you got to get done at the lodge. Is there any big changes you're going to be making?
This year, I'm going to put in some new windows and doors in all the cabins, and just slowly start to renovate a few things, some fascia soffit siding, stuff like that, do a few upgrades. And then once I get all that done, at that point, I guess I'm going to determine what I'm going to do with the lodge, whether I'm going to upgrade that or maybe bring in some guys and we stick up a log structure or something. I'll have to see how that goes.
I think it's just dancing girls, really. Nothing livens up a lodge better than dancing girls. I'm just kidding, all you ladies. I'm not being that. Maybe some video games. That's it. Some stand-up, quarter chunk, and video games. Maybe Duck Hunt.
Some old school arcade stuff.
That's right. And then we'll just have a guy going around with that quarter slotty thing that we used to love. That guy. That could be you.
Yeah,
there you go.
Looking
for change for the beer machine. Yeah. Tony's fill the hot tub for Scott and friends. Well, yeah, full of beer, Tony.
Oh yeah, the beer right beside the hot tub.
That's it. It's as long as it's in reach. No big deal. So Amanda said, Joel, that she used to fly like this, or try to fly like this for BC bull trout. It was called the Bacon.
The Bacon, eh? Bringing home the bacon.
Was it the Baconator, Amanda? Maybe the big bacon. So the logistics of this, it kind of. I don't think people understand how much it takes to get organized, because you're not just to drive around the corner to the 7-Eleven or the Walmart or what have you, and the hardware store. What do you do to plan to organize that bucket full of tickle trunk things that you need to get there? Like,
honestly, I started making a list before I left there last year, and was honestly picking stuff up on the way home on my travels, and already started piling it in the garage, whether it was as simple as getting a trailer tire fixed or whatever it was. That's all being piled in the corner in a certain area to go back in again.
You probably start the list the second you land
Yeah.
for the season. Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, I already know what I forgot. And
make sure you call
another plane.
Because I can bring some stuff with me, right? So
Oh, yes. Yes. I had to make a few of those phone calls last year.
I won't be carrying the 50 pounds of lures like I did last year. It'll be mostly flies and those lures that you've seen there. So
yeah,
I'm going to expressly teach Joel how to fly fish. What? I know you can out chuck me probably all day long.
To me, you probably that's probably true that you can teach me a few things about small stuff, but
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'll show you how to catch these, and you show me how to catch those. Is that fair?
We'll do,
buddy.
Yeah,
that's right. I hold a wicked camera, solid and steady. So there'll be lots of good shots of you and of my sunsets.
That's farmer talk, man.
Farmer? No. See, I promise low and deliver high. That's Amanda says she'll do some deliveries. On bicycle? It's a long bike ride, Amanda. Yeah. Now, if anybody was to win, that if I could put my mind power to win a seat, it would be Amanda. But I'll tell you, after all the stuff she's gone through, this would be a pretty amazing trip for her. I'd love to see you there. Oh, look, Paul's joined. He's late, but let's see. Mailing me one to test. Ha! Hey, those were Christmas presents, Paul. So, but I did tell you. Did you see it earlier? Oh, I will hold this up one more time for those who are late to the party. Water, crooked. Look, I'm a terrible. I'd never make a good Vanna. There we go. Waterwolflures.com. Check them out. Uberfish. Amanda goes by Uberfish. I thought it was spelled with an O. I think she spelled Uber. Are you gonna be? Oh, I get it. Instead of taking a bike, she'd take an Uberfish. I get it. Ha! Wow, Amanda, that one almost went right over my head. So apparently, this magic green juice that I'm drinking. See, big smile. Doesn't have enough alcohol in it, apparently. So what will you leave us with, Todd? Tell us something fun, and then again, tell everybody where to find you. And because what are we at here? We're at 5:48, and I think Joel needs to finish off this fly too pretty quick. Parting words.
Something fun?
Yeah.
You're going to have an amazing trip on the Wolf River. Joel can watch you catch those tons of Arctic grayling as he throws out those streamers for some of those 20 to 30 pound Lakers coming down the river, chasing those grayling.
How far down can we do that?
How far down can the river can you go?
Yeah,
as
to
far
catch
as
Lakers.
Your legs will take you, my friend.
Oh, well, and yeah, if I float.
And if you float, yeah.
Can we anchor like at the start of the current and then cast, or
at the mouth of the river? Right as right at the very mouth, we've got a trench there, and the Lakers and the grayling both pile up in there, and then the grayling back off down into the river mouth. So you could anchor right up in front of the river mouth. But if you're fishing the grayling, the best bet is just to get right in the river with the waders on.
Oh yeah, no, I have no doubt about that. That would make fantastic fishing. I've seen the videos. I'm already sold. However, fly casting right at the bay for Lakers, pike at the same time right there seems brilliant.
Yeah, Thomas caught a 28-pound lake trout there summer before last.
On a fly rod?
On a fly rod, yeah, and a streamer.
Oh, Are you hearing this, bad boy? There's ringing and magic in my ears right now. Yeah, I think if we could solve all the the pike and the lake trout and the grayling right at the Wolf River. Wow, we've solved a lot of problems in one day.
Who needs a boat?
Do you find well, we're going to take a trip up to May Lake, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's how far of a walk?
About a half a mile on a walking trail. I'd say it takes 15 minutes.
Do you offer piggybacks? Or?
No, there's a little, we got about 150 foot in elevation change off the beginning, but after that, I might be able to piggyback you.
So we're going to be heading up there because I think that, look at the eyes on that. Because the pike will be getting all set up and sitting in the shallows, warming themselves right around when we're there.
Yes, right at the end of June, we've got the redfin trout and the northern pike are piled up in the shallow bay there. There's a big area there that's 3 to 4 feet deep, and you can sight fish those redfins and the pike in there. It's a pretty cool experience.
At the same time, when we're going to be there?
Yeah.
Why did I miss this? Look at that bad boy popper.
Oh,
you need a 4-foot stinger on the back of that for those. No,
we're good. We're good.
What do you got in?
We're good, man.
Where's the hook?
Just a 6-aught right here, right there. That's all you need. Yeah, they take it right from the side at the head. That's all you need.
Wow, that is a beautiful fly.
It's only 14 inches.
Nice.
Yeah, between the eyes, that is an incredible fly right there. So is that one that you're bringing?
Yeah, that's going to be in our arsenal. Even though I've had,
will there only be one, and we'll have to rock paper scissors for it?
No, there's going to be a few. I've got some these barrel heads. What are they from? Surface Seducer. I've got a bunch of them order, so I will have a bunch of these tied up for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's an amazing looking fly, sir.
Looks awesome. Almost
and
looks
it's
like a
textured.
Christmas decoration.
Hey, wait! I'm gonna go big again on you. Bring it in close. Bring it in close. Oh, so it's textured. Oh,
yeah. I put a little bit of UV glue on there.
That frog has warts.
Oh yeah.
Don't let that frog pee on you.
It's been around, my friend. So I've been working on our pike box and our lake trout box. So there's all kinds of goodies here.
Exciting. Oh, what do we got here? Let's go big. Where did you go? You're supposed to go big. There you are. Oh, no, they're articulate. Okay. And that's just a hook at front or a hook in the back?
Well, it's articulated. So I believe it's 1-aught front and then just a size 1 in the back. So this is what I call a sex bunny.
Marvelous. I can hardly wait to see that box, Todd?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
That's for those big grayling.
Yeah.
Those 7-pounders.
This is the first fly I tied with Icelandic sheep. And
I love this sheep.
Yeah, apparently it's fantastically light, sheds water really well, and is pretty well indestructible. So
all my big 7-inch jigs, the 2 ounces that I tie for lake trout, I use mostly Icelandic in green and white. And yeah, it does. As soon as you pick it up and give it a shake, it's dry in your box, good to go. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, here's some more hollow deceivers that I tied up. This one and another one here.
Pretty.
So yeah, I've been tying a little bit here and there. And
you got it. Oh yeah, it's like a deer hair popper ish.
Kind of. It's actually a suspending. It subsurface, but it does stay quite high because of the bulkhead. But the bulkhead just pushes water. So if I wanted a popper, I would pack this a lot tighter for sure.
Do you have suggestions, Todd, for have you seen Laker flies up there that seem to produce better, or colors, or
I want to say yellow has been a really good color for us up there, and white as well. You know, that bondy bait that I was using up there, you know, I was using a white and a yellow, but that yellow, there's something about it, and they just annihilated it. Yeah, you got it there.
Yeah. You better add some of that into that list there, Joel.
I'll have to work on some yellow for us, boys.
Yeah, just duplicate everything you got, only all in yellow. Okay,
Sweet.
Todd. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to getting ready for the big trip. I know you guys got to fly out in the morning, and you guys are an hour difference already. And I see Sherry pacing back and forth there, holding up a sign. So
got a few more things to do yet tonight. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, send us some pictures from the
All Canada show.
You know,
yes, sir.
And I will post them up for you and share them out and see if we can't get some people heading out that way and that are local to our viewers and come see you.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, bud. Thanks very
right.
much. Drive safe or fly safe, I guess. You'll have to talk to the pilot. Give him a note or a cookie or something just so he flies nicely.
You bet.
All right. Stay out of trouble.
Have a good night, fellas. Talk to you later.
Good night.
Take care, Todd.
Well, that's a pretty fish. I mean, hoo-ha. Fish catching hook chummy. What do you technical people call those?
Flies.
Okay, that's right. The fly.
Hollow Deceiver, yeah.
A hollow Deceiver. So you must be getting pretty close to the end of that. Eh? Just some eyeballs, or
No, the eyes are on there.
that's it.
Well done, man.
Oh, it's like that one cartoon character. He looks at you from the front. Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, I am going to. You won't know today, but for next week, you can keep commenting. I'm going to draw a subscription to Hook Magazine. I am going to put that up here again for a second. So, in honor of Don Lamont, who's going to be on the show with us coming up here, not too far down the road. He's going to talk about his magazine and some of his experiences while he was filming for the last 20 years doing The Complete Angler. So we're excited to have him, and he's given us some subscriptions to give away on our show. So I am going to give away one to somebody who has commented here. Today is Wednesday. So Friday night, I will pick a winner from this. I will either announce it. I'll just let you guys know on the next live, probably. What do you think, Joel?
That sounds good.
Sounds good. I will pick the winner on the next live, and right on Todd's on his way to Chicago. Yeah. So yeah, Tony, if you want to head down to Chicago, you can meet him. He'll be close. Well, closer than he is now, maybe.
The Windy City.
I'm not. The which now?
The Windy City.
The Windy City. I think it's the Machine Gun City or the Deep Dish Pizza City. I don't know if it's windy anymore. Is it still windy?
The home of blues, for sure.
Is that it?
Yeah. I would love to go see like Chess Records studio. That'd be awesome.
Chess Records. Wow. What do you got? Are you coming on next week?
I unfortunately will be back home in Nova Scotia next week. So
you're heading. Yeah. Okay. You're going to be gone for a week. Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to pull out my vise and tie a mosquito.
You should start tying us some stuff.
I might tie up a couple of those grubs and things that he was talking about, the mayflies and stuff. Yeah, I can do some of that. Get us a box of the grayling flies. I'll let you work on the big fish. Does that make sense?
Sounds
but
good.
You'll need to still get us a couple of those 3-inch micro streamers for the big grayling. Big yep. Boys. Okay. Well, I will let you go, and you travel safe. Also, when do you leave?
Friday night. I got a red eye. So
you are all about the red eyes.
Yeah. Well, it's nonstop, so I kind of like the late night red eyes. So
couple Benadryl, wake up at the other end.
Yeah, something.
With some kid sneezing on the side of you, hanging over the top of the chair, staring at you.
Right.
Okay, well, all the best to you. Joel, and we will see you in a couple weeks then, back with another Wolf Lake Wednesday, and that'll be 2 weeks from now then, providing
Should be
you're not
good for
working.
them.
Okay.
Providing I'm not working, I'll be here.
Okay, sounds good. It looks like the audience is dropping like people from the plague, so we will close this down. It's been an hour. Thank you for tying that wonderful fly, sir, and I look forward to chucking that out into the chuck. Chuck it to the chuck.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, boy. Okay, guys, just quickly before I leave, thanks for everybody hanging out. And don't forget, you need to leave a comment in order to win a subscription. Say it, just comment anything. Say, hey, you smell, or your show was awesome, or hey, I'd like to see this on the next show. That would be a great thing to add in there. And I will be getting Randall Sands from Florida Diver organized soon, and then we'll be doing some cooking stuff, which I'm super excited about and already hungry for. So I am going to say adieu until next Wednesday, and thanks very much for hanging out. Whoa, how am I back already? This isn't good. All right. So, Joel's like, hey, you ding dong, you're still up. Okay, try and get rid of this. Bye. You can't get rid of me that easy. Bye, Karis.